Hey, we are here with our latest unboxing video. We have a heaping pile of adult books, which is really exciting. And I don't know, there might be a DVD in there somewhere, buried in the pile. We'll never know until it comes. I'm Eliza.
Amber.
Go ahead.
Okay. Right on top. Run Me to Earth.
It's a little one.
By Paul Yoon, author of Snow
I remember what this is about.
Run Me to Earth. Beautiful and aching epic about three orphaned youths and their entwined destinies across decades. It takes place in the 1960s Laos.
Mm-hmm.
Spanning decades. I don't know. It's a kind of a small book, but it
I feel like this has
seems
a lot
interesting.
of book club potential because it looks super interesting, and it's sort of like maybe something you don't read about that often, and also it's really short. So like the combination plus a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Children of the Land, a memoir, and this is about oh my God, it's about a immigrant kid growing up in the United States, but it says right after he crossed into the border, over the border as a kid, like his family brought him, and it was so stressful for him that he went blind. But then later recovered his vision. I guess you can have stress blindness. I've read about that before.
Is this fictional?
No, it's a memoir, but it's a real thing. Like it doesn't sound
God.
like a real thing, but it actually is a real
I feel
thing.
like going blind would cause even more stress.
Yeah, I don't know if it is probably like a positive feedback loop, but it shows just what stress can do to your body.
The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel, and she wrote Wolf Hall and Bring Up the Bodies.
This is the third in the series, so if you've read the first two, you know where things are going and probably are feeling a little stressed out.
And we have a display for Women's Month in the library, and Wolf Hall won some kind of award for
Wolf
her.
Hall and Bring Up the Bodies both won, I think, the Booker Prize, which is the only time that's happened.
Yeah.
Like books in the series.
Two-time winner.
Yeah.
So come in and get this
I'm
one.
pretty sure that's the only time it's happened that like the first and the second both won the prize. Like,
Yay,
I mean, they're amazing.
they're
They're amazing books. Yeah, and she's an amazing woman. Why We're Polarized by Ezra Klein.
I like the contrast, just the black and white, very simple.
Yeah, and people are definitely requesting this book, and it's looking at why. It says America's political system isn't broken. The truth is scarier. It's working exactly as designed. So this is talking about how the system is polarizing us.
You were born for this. This is another like visually striking cover. Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance by Channing Nicholas. Oh man. Oh, this is incredible.
Can I tell them that you're in astrology?
Oh my God. Like I don't feel like I want to put this down. They're like charts and signs and affirmation. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, in any case, astrology doesn't look like an astrology book though.
I feel like the other one I was into the cover. With this one, I feel like they could have maybe done a little more with the cover, but
it's like surprise.
This one they did a nice cover of Jessica Simpson, and it's called Open Book. Oh look, and it's got this little spot of color, and then another picture of her on the back, and I think it's a memoir.
Yeah, she has just recently come out as having struggled a lot with, I think, alcoholism and just a lot of other things, like being in the spotlight from when she was so young and all that. Lost James. I got Pattersoned. Lost by James Patterson and James O'Bourne. FBI, DEA, police. Boom.
James Grippando, The Big Lie, and this is a legal thriller.
And guess what? I got
you get a DVD. That's your reward to conversation.
You already have Bombshell, though, I think.
Maybe it's another one?
Must be like another copy. The person who did like makeup for this, I think, won an Oscar, I believe, because I mean, look at these transformations are incredible. It was actually a really good movie too.
Okay, this is a special book that comes in a special package, and then even more package. You
didn't think you were getting like triple unboxing, did you?
Ha ha ha! Ha ha!
Is this super important? What is this?
Wrapped up very neatly like a present. And it's because it's from a small local press and by a local author, and it's called On Their Own Terms: How One Woman's Choice to Die Helped Me Understand My Father's Suicide. And we couldn't get it from any of our usual sources, but because it's a topical issue and because it's a local author, there are a lot of holds on it. So I went the extra effort.
Nice. The Keeper by Jessica Moore, paperback, unusual. It's a thriller about crime as shocking as it is commonplace. Oh, a body is pulled. There's a detective.
They think it's a suicide, but then maybe it's not a suicide. Clive Cussler, Journey of the Pharoahs, writing with Graham Brown. I really like this title, Journey of the Pharoahs, and it's got such a cool, I feel like this is winning the author photos because they're like, not only are they looking cool, but they have this awesome old car and they're in a really cool location. So they just are having too much fun.
Okay, last one in this part of the box. Harlan Coben, The Boy from the Woods. I really like, just like visually, I really like this cover. Harlan Coben usually has really good covers.
You know what's cool is the way the trees, like some of the trees are behind the letters and some of the trees are in front of the letters. It gives the whole thing like a
man whose past is shrouded in mystery. A missing teenage girl before her disappearance brings about disastrous consequences.
I shouldn't laugh, but it was just
you made it. Just sell the book a little bit.
This is called Djinn Patrol on the Purple Line by Deepak Anappara, and it's about in this transporting debut novel, three friends venture into the most dangerous corners of a sprawling Indian city to find their missing classmate.
Sounds like an adventure, but
yeah. Actually, I feel like I read a lot of novels set in India, but lots of times they tend to be more on the side of like, like a little bit humorous, like family life type thing. So this seems like more of a thriller type setup.
They do have like classmates.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Having a mission in there.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of description of the city too, which sometimes can be too much and sometimes I really like. Oh, look, there's a map.
Profiles in Corruption. Abuse of power by America's progressive elite.
So I think this is a conservative bent.
That's what my guess would be. It's by Peter Schweizer.
You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. And this is the author of The Wife Between Us, or the authors of The Wife Between Us, which I actually read.
Was it good?
It was like very, very readable. Like I read the whole thing really fast. And I don't think it was bad, but I just feel like sometimes with those like suspense thrillers, it's like just eating like a whole bunch of chocolate donuts. You're just like, nom, 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 and then you're after like, oh, what just happened? Okay. So like, but I think sometimes you want that. Like sometimes like the weekend is coming and you're like, all I want a book is a book that I can just like read straight through.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. Wait. What? Isn't this The Night Watchman? Isn't that the name of a book already?
Probably lots of books. Like one that we already have, or
I don't know. I feel very confused. It's based on the extraordinary life of Louise Erdrich's grandfather, Patrick Gourneau, who worked as a night watchman and carried the fight against native dispossession from North Dakota all the way to Washington, D.C. Sounds like there's going to be like a lot of historical stuff. Yeah, 1953.
She's a really good author, and also we have some like particular fans of her in our community. So I know that there'll be people wanting this. This is the new book by Hope Jahren, the author of Lab Girl. This one's called The Story of More: How We Got to Climate Change and Where to Go from Here. So we actually did her first book in book club, and she just like is very. She knows a ton about science, and she writes really well. So I think a lot of people will sort of be interested in this look at climate change. And also I know a ton of people really liked her first book, so they probably will want to read more of what she's written.
Rocco's Keto Comfort Food Diet. I'm just happy that I picked up a cookbook. I'm not on the keto train. Oh, but these look really good. Are those like zucchini fries? Look at that. Oh, and then the cinnamon buns like right underneath it. How did I miss that?
Are they all made with fake sugar? I don't want to do the fake sugar.
Okay, so the cinnamon roll bites, full fat cream cheese, obviously, because keto's like full fat stuff. Almond flour, coconut flour, erythritol, which is like that sugar, that sugar that's not sugar.
That sounds like fake sugar.
Sounds like fake sugar. Celtic sea salt, maybe that makes up for it. Grass-fed butter, I don't know.
They look amazing.
They really do.
Looks amazing, and we have not had our lunches yet, so.
Coconut aminos. I guess if this is like the kind of thing that you want to do and your cupboard is like stocked with this stuff, this would be a good cookbook.
In 5 years, this book has a really good premise. The premise is that I think it's a woman is maybe just, she's like got her life all planned out, and she's just going to like accept her boyfriend's marriage proposal, and she's interviewing for the job she wants. But during the job interview, they ask her where she sees herself in 5 years, and she actually gets like a flash of a vision where she's like with a different guy and like doing different things than like all that she planned out. And so but then she's just like, well, no, I don't want that. I really want this thing. And so it's sort of about her like struggling against this vision and then maybe like ending up. Well, I don't know what happens at the end. That's just the premise.
Question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's such an I really love this. I really love this cover.
I love the cover.
Untamed by Glennon Doyle.
I think who's a famous person. She did a blog.
Is an activist, speaker, thought leader. I
hadn't actually heard of her, but when I Googled her...
She's president of Together Rising, an all-women-led nonprofit organization. This is how you find yourself. It's a biography.
She also wrote a book called Love Warrior.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like in the self-help genre?
It's a memoir and a wake-up call, I guess.
A lot of things, but it's most of all, it has a really great cover.
And Elizabeth Gilbert blurbs on the back. It will liberate women.
When Time Stopped, a memoir of my father's war and what remains. This is a book that's been getting a lot of like good reviews and stuff. And it's about a woman whose family like was killed, or some people disappeared in the Holocaust, and then she finds a box of memorabilia and decides to do a quest to discover like the details of what happened.
And when this is a biography.
It's nonfiction, and so she's like a modern person, presumably, right? She just wrote the book, but then she's researching her family during World War II. And I find the title very powerful.
And Deepak, long video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.